In this video, I'm going to type Beyoncé using two videos that were provided to me in a Facebook discussion I was in. Both of these video clips are interviews that Beyoncé did with Oprah. I apologize for the volume fluctuation. The general consensus on the internet is that she's an Isfj. 3-wing 4, I disagree. My first impression is that this looks like the eyes of an extrovert. She's looking around the crowd. She's in the crowd. When she looks out, she's there. It doesn't look like the cautious or guarded gaze of an introvert.
That's right. Everything. All right. So listen to where Beyoncé has been in just the past 10 days. Tokyo, Philadelphia, Columbus, Ohio, Miami, London, Liverpool, Monte Carlo, New York, and now Chicago.
Yes. I've been all around the world in 1 week.
All around the world in 1 week.
Absolutely.
When do you get a day off?
Oh, well, I get a day off in a couple of days. 2 more days.
2 more days you get a day
I have
off.
1 day off.
Oh, wow.
Every 7 days, I make sure I have at least 1 day off. But that's just when I'm promoting an album or a movie. Normally, I make sure I have more time.
More downtime for yourself.
December, I'm going to have a whole month. At the end of December and the first 2 weeks of January.
I'm not convinced in the sincerity of this Effie that she's putting on right here. I think that she's adapting to her situation and trying to come off as more friendly or chit-chatty than she really is. But if you look at what she's really saying, her answer is all factual. She's relaying the data. She's not spending time in the FE considerations. She's not asking Oprah about herself. You know, there's no reciprocation of FE here. She's putting on a smile and then delivering data.
And what you gonna do?
I don't know. I want to travel. I want to go to the south of France. No, I want to travel.
Want to travel? Oh, I have a day off, so I go travel. Really?
I want to relax and maybe go on a boat and stay away from all the cameras and
all the stuff. Yeah, I know you guys like boating. Isn't boating the most fun?
Perfect thing because you feel like you're in your own world. You feel like you're protected from everything, and you're right in the middle of the ocean. You wake up, you smell it, you hear it, they cook whatever you want. It's perfect.
It's the life. Now, so the New York Times is saying that you are the woman who has everything. Do you feel that yourself?
I feel like I'm so blessed, and I'm very fortunate, and I have more than I ever thought I would. But I feel like I've worked very hard for everything.
That's too easy a toehold for me to go, look at that TE, she's working hard for it. But kind of TE-ish right there. Also notice that every time I freeze the frame, her facial expression is not it's not warm. It's smiling, but it just doesn't have that warmth and softness of an Esfj. It does have a bit of steel, bit of assertiveness, strong eye contact. So interpret that how you will, but I don't think that this body language and facial expression is consistent with what we would see out of an FESI ego.
All the women, they see you on Oprah and they see the videos and they don't realize how difficult it is. You know, I had to sacrifice a lot growing up, and I didn't do a lot of things that most teenage girls did.
What do you think you sacrificed?
Well, just a lot of personal things, you know.
Going to the prom?
Going to the prom, going to the games.
Your life is better.
Well, you know, I don't regret it at all.
I went to the prom. Listen, I'll go to Tokyo.
I know, I agree. But at the time, you know, you feel like you're missing out. And now,
like you're not like everybody else.
Right. Now I look back and I wouldn't change anything. And I believe young people are supposed to work while you're young. When you're in school, you're supposed to focus on school.
Yes.
And now I'm able to relax when I want to relax.
This is one of the most purebred TE dumb statements ever. Let's listen to that again real quick.
I believe young people are supposed to work while you're young. When you're in school, you're supposed to focus on school.
Yes.
And now I'm able to relax when I want to relax.
How did you find time to get married?
You know, it's difficult because I had to really learn how to have boundaries and how to have balance. I'm sorry.
I'm reading into this learning how to have balance statement right here. Difficulties finding balance or equilibrium in one's life is characteristic of SI polar types, so that would indicate ENTJ.
That's both. You need both.
I need boundaries and balance. And it was great because it's something that I never have really talked about. And I still feel like it was difficult because and it still is because I'm so excited about it. Mm-hmm. But it's important that I keep things that are pure and real in perspective, and I keep it separate from my performance life.
But do you like being a wife? Do you like being a wife as opposed to a girlfriend?
I like definitely.
And I'm just asking you this because, you know, I never married. I chose not to marry. But I always love it sometimes when guys will say, you know, that's my wife, or my wife called, or I got to get this for my wife. You know, just when you hear the word wife and you know that he's talking about you, do you like that? Do you go, mm-hmm? Yeah.
It feels great.
Right here, Oprah goes into to FE land and provides a really good example of what an FE Dom looks like. And you can see that Beyoncé doesn't respond in the same vein. She kind of responds with a little bit of guarded FI and then moves on past. They're not hooking FE horns.
But I can say that it's different for everyone. And
yes.
What's the most important thing is to make sure you have your own life before you're someone else's wife.
Very TE valuing sentiment. Get your shit done, have your shit together, then add in the relationship as a component of your life. But you're not seeking the completion or fulfillment of your life in that relationship, which is something a lot of people do. And I think that the clear prioritization of have your own life, have it separate, then bring in a romantic partner is a very clear illustration of somebody who is running in TE. And then the feeling considerations, whether you consider marriage to be an FE or an FI endeavor primarily, either way, she's clearly prioritizing getting shit done before bringing the feeling components into her life.
And I mean that.
Yes. So now that it's already happened, could you tell us where was the wedding?
Oh gosh. It was very private, and I can say outside it was paparazzi and it was madness, and inside it was really beautiful. But once again, I'm saying way too much.
A quirk I've noticed about ENTJs that she's displaying here is they're private with information. And the fact that she didn't want to say where her wedding was even after it's over.
You know, we remember when you were on the show earlier, many years ago, when I think when you just first won your first 5 Grammys, and I said one of the things that I had regretted, and I don't regret a lot of things, but I regretted having ever spoken about Stedman, that I should keep, and I said to you, you should keep your private life private.
I remember.
You're doing that very well.
I'm trying. It's hard with you.
Yeah. I know, so really only tell me what you want me to know.
I did. After so many years, 16 years, I've only shared who I am through my music. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that mystique is very important. Mm-hmm. And there are things that I still just don't feel comfortable talking about or, you know,
tweeting about.
Exactly.
So here she's demonstrating that weird inferior FI that TE DOMs have, where you can tell that her true self, or how her FI sentiments are important to her, and they're guarded and they're private.
I know that you don't tweet a lot, but you don't have time. You're a mom.
I don't have time.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's so much fun to tell my stories through photography. So that's what I chose to do.
This is a cool little exchange here because Oprah throws her a bone. She says, "You're busy. You're a new mom." And Beyoncé makes an FE gaffe. She completely misses the mom opening that Oprah just threw her. And she says, yes, I am busy. I am busy. And then goes right on through to her work. And skips completely over the kid and doesn't seem to notice the FE alley-oop that she just let hit the floor. Another behavioral quirk that I've just happened to notice consistently among ENTJs is they're not really interested in babies or small children. They don't consider them real people yet, so they're all right. They're just not interested in that. And SFJ would certainly not miss the baby opportunity. SFJs would be all about the baby. ENTJs, oh yeah, that thing that cries when I'm trying to work.
Because you don't want people in your life and all your business all the time.
It's the time and a place for it.
Okay. You say...
Okay, now watch this. They're about to go down the NI rabbit hole real quick together. Oprah's an ENFJ, and so they both have NI tool, and that's what this is. They're both going straight for the NI. And notice the specific lack of SI references when they're talking about the thread of life. They don't reference their own experience at all.
So profoundly that life is about connecting the dots, and that there is a thread that runs through all of our lives. And when you can figure out what that thread is, that connects the dots. That's what your purpose is, really, in life. Are you in the process of connecting the dots?
Yes. And I am starting to live and pay attention, because they're everywhere.
Because life is speaking to you all the time.
So the first thing I want to say is that I don't particularly like typing people based off interactions in staged events, like interviews with Oprah. You don't see them in their natural habitat, and everybody's putting on more gloss than is realistic. So I tried to cut through that and see what looked like real Beyoncé, and what I was getting was a determined, matter-of-fact, driven person who values FI but is cautious and guarded with it, and a little bit suspicious or unfamiliar with it, if that makes sense. No strong SI at all. No SI really at all. She does reference relaxing on her boat once, but relaxing on your boat is an incredibly generic response to that question. So I didn't read much into that. Her FE, Oprah's an ENFJ, and so you can use Oprah as a reference point for FE dominance. And Oprah and Beyoncé, they're not rubbing FEs together. That's a one-way FE street. So I certainly don't think she's an FE user. Certainly not ego. Something else that's influencing my opinion is, and I don't know where exactly I got this impression, but for whatever reason, I am under the impression that Beyoncé is kind of a cutthroat, assertive, goal-oriented person. I think I read an interview with some of the old Destiny's Child chicks at one point in time, is where I think I got that from. But I think that Beyoncé is very much a type A TE Dom. She and Jay-Z both put off much stronger Gamma Quadra vibes than any other Quadra as well. I don't know what type Jay-Z is. Fuck, they could both be Entjs for all I know. Wouldn't that be a nightmare marriage? Neither one of them care about that baby at all. So yeah, I don't know why so many people would think that she's an ISFJ. I don't see it at all. There were some responses posting her as ESFP. That makes a lot more sense to me, but I still don't believe that's it. She's not flexing her. She's not flexing FE enough, and she's too measured with her SE, in my opinion. Something that's interesting is a lot of the sites typed her ISFJ 3-wing 4. Now, I understand that Enneagram and MBTI are different systems and they don't overlap, whatever, technically. However, for ISFJ, which is a TE polar type, to have a 3 fix seems like it's self-contradicting to a large degree. I don't know how you have an Enneagram 3 that's also TE polar. Sounds like a mess of a person. So, anyways, let me know what you think. Do you agree, disagree? I'm the only one I've seen type her as ENTJ. Maybe I'm nuts. If there's any other celebrity requests, let me know in the comments below.